Hey dudes and dudettes, I'm Twinkle Toes.
Pull up a chair by the hearth.
The online trading card game Hearthstone by Blizzard is currently in open beta, and there are already many people discussing classes, cards, decks, synergies, strategies and whatnot, but this video is about general tips for beginners who just started out, not anything specific. Tip number 1. Have a plan. Hearthstone decks consist of 30 cards. Don't just throw together any cards that look powerful. Ask yourself how you want to play, whether you want to play aggressively, defensively, etc. Then choose cards that synergize with your hero, with each other and with your strategy. Number 2. Watch the mana curve. Pay attention to the mana curve of your deck, especially in the first few rounds you want to have some low cost but efficient cards. If you can't play any cards in the first few rounds, don't blame your bad card drawing luck right away, but take another look at your deck instead. Number 3. Be patient. Hearthstone is a tactical game. It's not about depleting your mana completely every turn, but playing the best possible moves with the cards you have. Sometimes that means not playing a card at all. Don't waste important parts of your deck synergy just for the sake of playing something. You should also be patient and thoughtful with the use of the coin. It might be tempting to have a 2-mana creature in the first turn, but it's usually much more viable to save it for later.
Taste the mana.
Tip number 4. Life points are a resource. You lose the game when you're out of health points, obviously. But that doesn't mean every point is sacred. Don't be afraid to take a few hits if you can, in turn, deal with the opponent's threat more effectively next turn. Tip number 5. Do the math. Plan your moves carefully. Go through your turn in your head once or twice before playing.
So many options.
Better take some time than play your cards in the wrong order. Also think about the order in which you attack enemy minions to minimize your own loss and use creature special effects to your advantage. That includes doing mental math. Carefully consider creatures and spells numbers and go through different scenarios in your head. Also keep the enemy's health as well as your own in mind. Tip number 6. Know the classes. To act smart, you have to know the hero classes in Hearthstone.
Valera versus Jaina.
You should try to memorize how many mana crystals their specific cards, especially the very dangerous ones, use. For example, if you're playing against a mage, you should be aware that he can use Flame Strike once he has 7 mana points. In that particular scenario, you might want to hold on to a few creatures when you have a few on the field already. And finally, tip number 7. Control the field. Enemy creatures are always a threat. Even the weakest minions can become dangerous with taunting creatures defending them or buffs that make them stronger when you ignore them for too long. Keep in mind that you don't always have to attack yourself though. When your defense is strong and chances of a strong counter are slim, then attacking the enemy hero can be very effective as well. If the enemy is low in health and he can deplete all of your life points in his next turn, he's basically forced to deal with your creatures. In that case, basically your creatures can deal damage twice instead of once. That is a very important aspect in trading card games in general. How to get the most bang for your buck, so to speak. Look at how many cards the enemy uses for his moves and shatter his efforts with less. Though in the end it's not just control of the field, but also have the upper hand with your remaining cards. Okay, so that was nothing really specific, but I hope that if you're kind of a new player, or maybe even if you're playing for a while, that was kind of helpful to you and you kind of start thinking outside the box a little. Take care of yourselves, bye bye.